Hello everyone, so for you today I've got my VDL-V draft team, which I completed a couple of days ago. Just wanted to get some footage of the Mons in action, give you something to watch. So let's get into it. So how I went about this draft, I decided I wanted to get Indeedee as my first choice and Lifeguard as my second choice, and then I'll build a team around that. So that happened. I was number 3 in the draft, so I was very worried I wouldn't get Lifeguard as my second pick, because I think he's a great mon, very good support, and can also hit with some decent attack, and yeah, I'm looking forward to using it. The reason I picked Indeedee first is because it's a Series 10 draft, so that means there's no Dynamax, and it hits hard. It's also got the Psychic Terrain, which stops priority moves, namely Fake Out, which I personally think is really important to have in a Series 10 team. Without Dynamax, I think Fake Out gets that bit more powerful, and being able to stop your opponent from attacking for a turn and then deal more damage with whatever's next to you is always good. Obviously the big downside to this is both these kind of like being in Psychic Terrain, so Fake Out isn't the best thing on them, but there's always the chance to use it. Indeedee hitting flying types, and Lifeguard doesn't need to be in Psychic Terrain to use Fake Out, so, and have the support it needs. So they were my first two. My third pick was Lopunny, but I ended up trading that away. My following two picks were Charizard and Venusaur. With Lifeguard, I've got the option of Sunny Day, Prankster, or an Unburdened Sunny Day, making it very fast. And then these two combined make up a decent Sun team. So Venusaur obviously doubles its speed, and Charizard gets the solar power, so it's the powerhouse of the duo. Venusaur can run support, so it's got Light Screen, it's got most importantly Sleep Powder, Stun Spore, Poison Powder, although I probably won't use that, let's be honest, and it's also got a decent attack stat in 100, so yeah, it could be. I've got two special attackers in the Sun, and they both do slightly different things, so could be an interesting duo to say the least. Looking forward to using them both, especially because Venusaur is, if no one knew, they had guessed it by now, is my favourite Pokemon. Next up I drew Comfrey. Comfrey was to support another mon I had in mind, a little bit later down the line. You can probably see it in front of you, which is personally one of my favourite fairy types. It's got Ally Switch, it's got Trick Room, it's got Floral Healing, it's +3 priority, which will outspeed most Fake Out users for any healing moves. So looking forward to using this one. So next up on the list was Copperajah. I needed a Steel type in the team. There was still some good Steel types lying around, but I saw it, thought it's slow, it can give me a decent Trick Room mode if I need it. And then the idea popped into my head of a slow rain team. So if I wanted to go with Trick Room, I could have Purloin, Lifeguard go out and set up rain as well, give some extra power to some of my slower mons, which at the moment are all Steel or Water types. So that was something I had in mind. Then next I picked up Galvantula, who ended up getting traded out from Electric. Reason being is I've got Charizard there, I've got Wishy Washy there. Both of them can do with that protection from electric attacks. So Manectric kind of fit the team well in that respect. And then I picked up Flygon, ground and yeah, just a ground and dragon type. I think ground's really good in this format. It hits quite a few mons quite hard, so that's why I picked that up. It can, the dragon typing also gives it some decent resist. Obviously I can't swap it into any ice attacks, but like if there's fire moves flying at me in sunny day, I can switch Venusaur out into Flygon, or if there's electric moves heading towards Charizard or Wishy-Washy, Flygon is immune to those. So it gives me some coverage options, which is what I like about it. It's also decent speed and can hit hard if you give it a choice band. So I do like it. Also gets access to Dragon Lance if I want to run the risk of trying to set up, which I might do, probably won't though. Then our last few picks were all sniped. I did have some things in mind. I picked up a War Turtle, that's gone. I picked up Dracovish, and that went too. So the last 3 mons were all traded at some point for something or another. I picked up Wishy-Washy. The plan as soon as I drafted Comfy was to grab Wishy-Washy, but someone else picked it up, but it became available again, so swapped out War Turtle for it. It's got the option of being in Trick Room next to Comfy constantly healing it so it doesn't drop below that 25% mark hopefully, and stays in its schooling form where its stats are monstrous. And then the last one, there we've got our Dual Blade and Pheromosa. I dropped Dracovish for Pheromosa because I needed something that was lightning fast. This team, the fastest thing on it at that point was Purloin 106. I tend to draft faster teams. Pheromosa fit that bill. It's got a lot of speed control, it's got access to speed swap, so I can make one of my slower mons, Gopperaja or Wishy-Washy, very fast. Although if Wishy-Washy changes forms, it loses the speed boost from the speed swap. So it's something that I've got to be aware of, but once Wishy-Washy loses school form and I've got no way of healing it back up, it might as well not be there. So there's a lot of risk with that, but there's some reward there too. It hits hard, it's very fast. I really like Pheromosa. I've got it in my other 2 leagues at the moment, so I don't see why I shouldn't have drafted it here. Looking forward to using it again. And then the final one was Dual Blade. It kind of gives me it rounds out the team quite well. It gives me that ghost typing, it's got wide guard, with an EVO light, it's very hard to take down. Even stab moves and the right EVs won't be taking it out anytime soon. It's much better on the physical side than it is the special side, which is okay. I've got some decent special bulk there with Comfy and Venusaur. So yeah, I'm looking forward to using Dual Blade this season. Hopefully I can bring it to a few matches. Shadow Sneak gets over its slow speed. Obviously I probably won't be having it out on the field at the same time as Indeedee, but we'll see how it goes. Looking forward to using it. On to our next slide is the type chart. So with this I've drafted so I'm weak to fire overall, but 2 of those mons are steel types, and if I'm using a sun team, then they won't be gunning, and if I'm using a rain team, that nullifies the super effective damage from the fire. So it seems a little bit of a mix and mash. Like, it can do Trick Room, it can do fast, it can't do Tailwind, nothing gets access to that unfortunately. So but it's something I haven't battled in before, so it's a new experience. Usually I'm known for bringing Tailwind, going fast and going brr. So this is something new league, new practices. Yeah, so got the fire weakness, but I've countered for that in how I draft. And overall there's not loads of weaknesses. I've got 3 glaring 4x weaknesses, Flygon with Ice, Venusaur with Flying, and Charizard with Rock. But it's not the end of the world. I've got ways of almost stopping them from being too much for an issue. But yeah, looking forward to how this team works on paper against everybody. Now, finally, I've got for you the division. So the VDL-V is split into 4 divisions. Each coach plays everyone from their division once, so that goes up to 5 weeks, and then after that you play a wild card from the other divisions for the next 3 weeks. So the overall length of regular season is 8 weeks, and then you hit playoffs. I'll be honest, this draft league is looking like one of the toughest I've been in. Target, as always, is to make playoffs. I'm going to see how we go. I've got a lot of confidence in this team. There's stuff I've used before and feel good about, but there's stuff I am not comfortable with, and I feel like I'm going to be using with one of my modes, mainly Trick Room. I'm not known for liking Trick Room, but I'm going to give it a go. So yeah, we'll see how it goes from there. That's it for the video, guys. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope to see you all soon. Good battling, everyone.